Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome back to another episode of The Forged Not Born, and I am with WNBF Pro, Elliot Gibson, former coach, friend, confidant, and natural bodybuilding connoisseur. So I'm going to let Elliot kind of tell you a little bit about himself, introduce himself, and we'll just take it away from there.
Oh, bro, I always hate these things, man. I hate having to introduce myself. I coach, same as Martin. I've been bodybuilding for a while now, 11 years training this year. I won my pro card last year, ended up doing pretty well last year. It was the first season where I coached myself through the season. And yeah, just trying to improve as a coach all the time. That's the goal. And just help as many people as possible step on stage and enjoy the process. So yeah, man. What else you want to know? I've got about 16 different do-rags. Yeah, that's about as far as it goes, bro.
As the Instagram bio states, right?
Yeah, I actually got rid of it. To be fair, I changed it recently. But yeah, I know.
It's a shame, mate. It's a shame. So so for those that obviously don't know, why don't we explore obviously latest season? Talk to us about obviously the results and everything went through there. We'll start there, and we'll dig into a little bit about origin story, how you got into this, and everything a little bit later. But I think we should start with the latest. Let's go for it.
In terms of clients that I have competing this year, or last season?
Yeah, last season. We'll start there.
Last season was a good one. Last season I had was, I believe, 4 on stage last year, and it was good. It was successful. I think the most notable results were with one of my clients called Ollie. He won the British title at the UKDFBA finals in the junior class, and then also Alex as well, who is in Romania. He done pretty well. He was a first timer. He won his novice and first timer categories. Looked incredible. So 2 really good results across the year, and more clients on stage than I had before. It was just a really good year, to be honest with you. And I think it was the second year that I had been a part of Team Pal. So again, that was just fun, just traveling for shows and just capturing a lot of results for the team. So yeah, it was a good year last year.
Yeah, Ollie looked fantastic. I did see pictures of obviously your client that competed abroad as well. I think he looked great. Ollie deservedly so. With obviously Team Pal, that's quite interesting. So talk me through, how did that actually develop? How did that come about?
Yeah, that was a while ago. I was in a bit of a space where I was like, I want to get more into coaching competitors, and I wanted to be exposed to more bodybuilders and be part of a bodybuilding brand. And for me, the opportunity presented itself to work with Adam, who's obviously a very good bodybuilder, a very good coach. And at the time, I thought, why not? It's a great opportunity, great exposure to different bodybuilders, a great opportunity to coach different people. So I just went for it. And that was in 2024, right at the start of the year. And yeah, it was good. And honestly, since then, coaching's started to go really, really well. I'm really enjoying coaching and the type of clientele that I'm getting. And I was in a much different position in 2024 than I am now with regard to coaching, and just, I think, a little bit more established in natural bodybuilding. Still a way to go, but yeah, that was a couple of years ago that I joined. And yeah, it's been fantastic. We recently brought on Talib as well, who joined the team, and his growth has been incredible. So yeah, honestly, in a good spot.
Yeah, I'd love to get both Adam and Talib on the pod as well. That would be definitely
For
something
sure.
to get the whole team on all at once, maybe. That would be an interesting one, get special guest was. But so talk to me, what's it like working as part of that team?
It's good, man. Yeah, it's just like working with your mates, to be honest, man. Yeah, it's just fun. It's funny. It's great. It's just enjoyable. And we learn a lot from each other as well. We're not afraid to be honest and ask for advice, or just get each other's perspectives. I always think you can move forward quicker when you are working with somebody, or just taking advice from multiple people and getting different perspectives. So yeah, that's been fun, man. It's literally just like working with your mates, to be honest. Yeah.
What would you say you probably learned the most from Adam then, or Talib recently?
I would probably say, I think it's more so from with Adam. I think because he's a bit more experienced than me, it's more so just handling a certain number of clients and certain boundaries that you'd have with clientele, and just how to manage things when you just got a little bit more on your plate. I think that's been the main thing for me that's helped me a lot. And then with Talib, it's because we also have some training sessions together as well sometimes. He'll just provide, because he's made incredible improvements to his physique, and I'll always listen to somebody who's walked the walk and made improvements. So he'll just give me advice on leg training, which I'll always take advice over. And yeah, it's just been great to have that knowledge in my corner, to be honest.
Because we both know that like bodybuilding as a sport can be incredibly isolating at times, especially if you're not, well, let's put it bluntly, if we're having to train out of gyms and places that maybe don't cater for, I don't want to say needs, but environment more than anything, and you're maybe not
sure.
surrounded with people like you train at EP, don't you?
Yeah.
Right. I suppose when you're brushing shoulders with people around like that, does it feel like a little bit more welcoming? Feel a little bit more like, these sessions get a little bit better, or the environment's better, or the culture's better, in a sense of like it's more wholesome to be around.
For sure. I think, man, like it's even the things. I'm very quiet when I train. I'm an introverted person. So when I train, I'm not very talkative. I'm not very like, but for me, it's more so just being in that environment, and it just, without you even knowing it, your standards just raise. Because if I'm like, the top 5 Olympian trains at that gym, like Naz trains at that gym, you got Theo that trains at that gym, who's a top heavyweight pro. Like, I'm just seeing these people, and it's just like, this is just the standard. So that's my constant comparison. And even if I'm not actively like interacting with these people a lot, it's just your normal environment. And I think that's so beneficial if anybody has the opportunity to go to a gym like that and they really want to pursue bodybuilding. I think it's, very useful in that aspect.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, because even though those people might not be there, I know that if I'm in a gym, like very different when I train at Iron Bodies, right? Like I have this kind of almost, it's always at the back of my mind that someone could be watching, and even like, so you check yourself from a standard standpoint, like no shitty reps, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
like, not that you would ever let that slack ever at all, like by yourself, but sometimes it just kind of gets reinforced and you find another gear or level to go through. And that is something to be said around like competing or being around with those people like that. It's that it's inspiring, it's motivating, and it's great to be around. It's infectious, isn't it?
for sure. And like, even if you do then begin to interact with those people, you pick up little tidbits and little pockets of information and just different perspectives from people that are just way more experienced than you. I've had people tell me before that they enjoy training out of these commercial gyms and stuff like that because it's a bit of an ego boost. It's like, I feel massive in here, so like I don't want to move. Like, people always come up to me and ask me for this and that, and it's like, that's great, but I feel like that type of person would probably benefit from actually moving and taking that hit.
Yeah, the question you have to ask yourself there, right? Like, why are you staying in being the big fish in a small pond?
For sure. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Because that's what I would look at a lot of times. Like, it might feel good, like when you're in the moment, and you might feel like, daddy big bollocks walking around whatever pure gym, mainstream gym, leisure centre gym, and I know a couple of guys that do that, and I'm like, why aren't you going to this place, and why aren't you going to here, why are you not like rushing, why are you not leveling it up? It's great because I think sometimes you can be that inspiration to those mainstream gyms. Like, we've both trained out of pure gym probably more times than we would have liked, when we don't have to, when we've had to get it done, right? And I know that I have to train at the leisure centre I now coach out of for one-to-one clients as well. But when the opportunity arises, you better believe your ass I'm going iron bodies like straight away. Like
sure.
I'm going to that gym to be around it. So when you said earlier about setting boundaries, you learned something from Adam. Would you like to dig into that a little bit more?
I think it's just a communication thing and what you can kind of handle. And I think when you're dealing with more clients, it's very easy and not that I don't want to act as if I'm complaining about anything, because I'm extremely grateful for whatever I'm working towards.
I'm managing 30 clients as well, bro. Like, trust me, like it's not a case of, oh, I'm doing so well, what a bad thing. It's like, no, we don't want to burn out. Like,
exactly, man. It's like I also have to realize, like, am I like work? I enjoy my job, I enjoy my work, but it's like, am I like you said, burning yourself out? Like if I'm on my phone 24/7 or responding to messages at 11 p.m. or whatever the case may be, it's like when you have less clients, stuff like that doesn't really bother you because you're just doing that less. But then when you have more clients, it can just become overwhelming. So it's just about managing that and just Yeah,
totally. I think that's a really good point there. Especially speaking to, how long have you been coaching people now at it?
this year is going to be 7 years. I think, in April it'll be 7 years. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So you're looking. I've trained people for 10 years. You trained people for 7, and we're both just saying this now, like from an experience standpoint. Like when you start getting busier, that shit matters, because you'll be starting to pull away. You should be present with your other half, your family, or yourself, and you're not, because you're on WhatsApp messaging people before you go to bed at like 10 o'clock. It's like, are you going to be giving the best quality advice or information from that standpoint, or that mental standpoint there of doing it? Or actually, if you wait, set a specific time, then answer it correctly, so you're not doing it from potentially even a knee-jerking, like reactive, emotional just to get rid of it, to clear the message. Like, and that's what I've probably learned quite a lot over the last year or two, as I've started to like manage people, a lot more people, more consistently. I'm like, this isn't sustainable, and they're not getting the best reply or best coaching service from me as well if I do that.
Yeah, 100%. And like, when people watch podcasts as well, they'll look at the people speaking on the podcast and be like, they figured it out. And I haven't figured it out. It's just something that, like, I'm still working on this, because there's also that battle that goes on. Do you know what I mean? So there's that battle that goes in your head that's like, okay, I need to be able to actually enjoy things and actually have presence with people. But at the same time, I also want to be one of the best coaches in natural bodybuilding, and that's probably going to require behavior that's not that. So there's always that like battle in your mind. So yeah, don't, like, if you're listening to this and you're a coach and you're like, oh my god, these guys have figured it out, like, we haven't. It's still a work in progress.
We're still fucking around and finding out. Like,
yeah.
I like, there's a mentor of mine said something to me. He said, it's idiots all the way up.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, like, literally, we're all like just fucking around, finding out what works, what doesn't, and consistently doing that. Because you're right in a sense. You see the looks of, like, you worked with Cal, didn't you, early on, right? That man would have been like a maniac probably, and probably still is like a little bit of a maniac, to be fair, in comparison now with the ICM stuff. You look at Christian or Finn or even Adam, I don't know what his work-life routine is like, right? And these guys are all at the top. There's a certain level of like sacrifice that has to come with that to be the best. And that might be, what I've started to realise now more and more, as my friend circle has started to change. And I don't see maybe the mates that still do that type of stuff, where they drink or they go out or they eat fast food or they go out eating or whatever. They might generally be like a lot more lazy, whatever it might be. Like my friend circle is like enclosed up to be smaller and smaller and smaller and more like-minded people. And I've seen that happen, because I understand, if I ever want to get a pro-worthy physique, if I ever want to win overalls or place first, that's what it's going to take, man. I'm going to have to lock into this shit, and it's going to have to come with some level of sacrifice. Now, it doesn't mean like I'm a hermit. doesn't mean I don't enjoy life, but I understand like I'm probably not going to be able to do what they're doing and look the way that I want to look, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. There's no free lunch. Like, yeah, man, makes sense.
No, sir. So I also want to talk about your season last season as well, man. Because
it was okay. It was alright.
Fantastic season for you.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, man. A lot of learning points, and definitely a lot of things that I look back at now and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I could have just done so much better with that. But yeah, it was fun. It was really good. It was a very fun year. So yeah, man.
Talk me through. So first off, you can list off like shows and obviously placings that we got, because obviously you got some fantastic results. And then talk me through how you feel the look was compared to previous seasons.
For sure. So I done 5 shows in total last year. It was a long season as well. I started my prep in January. It's like the 23rd of January. And my first show was in July. And then my last show was in September, like the back end of September. And I was pretty much in shape from June, May. So, and I think because I was coaching myself, there was a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. And there was a little bit of I want to show people that I can do this really well and I know what I'm talking about. And I won't step on stage looking like shit. And that was just my objective, like literally for that first show. And I think I pushed myself so hard into that first show, I didn't really manage my timeline appropriately. It still went well, the first show. Like I still won the overall. It was good. But then I think as the season went on, so I think my best look was probably the second or third show, which was the BNBF, was the second show. I'd won the heavyweight class there, and then was close in the overall. Definitely a much fuller look, and that was in September the 6th. And then it was a WNBF show. Again, won the heavyweight class. Got to the overall, third in the overall, won a pro card. I think the overall was very, very close between the three of us. And again, I think that was like where my physique kind of peaked. But then thereafter, I think I started to trend downwards a little bit, because your body just eventually is just like, you're taking the piss. You've tried to hold this for too long. It doesn't matter how much food you're eating. It doesn't matter how much you try and manage your steps. Eventually being that low level of body fat is just a bit of a piss take. I went to Italy to compete, which was an incredible experience. That was really fun. And Italian people are crazy about bodybuilding. Absolutely insane about it. It was so fun. Like, oh man, it was just insane. Like being backstage and like people asking me to take photos with them and stuff like that. And like people, like the audience was just absolutely insane. It didn't capture it on the live stream. They were like, it was like, like it was given like El Clasico vibes. The stage, like the honestly, it was like they were going nuts. They were literally so loud, and so passionate about bodybuilding. It was just amazing. But I basically got attacked by mosquitoes throughout that whole trip. Ended up getting cellulitis and had to go on antibiotics. Yeah, for my last show of the season, so I was on antibiotics and trying to like peak, and by this point my body was already tired. So yeah, and then I'd done the last show. It wasn't my best look, and kind of just closed out the season. But yeah, man, it was great. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, a lot of things to work on, which I'm doing this season. So,
what would you say was the biggest improvement that you made in the off season from last time you competed to the latest? So that kind of gap in the off season.
I definitely think lower body development. Although I think everywhere kind of improved. I think it was quite well balanced. I definitely think my conditioning was better at my shows. Just a bit more of a lively physique in comparison to my previous season.
Pop, man. It had a pop to it.
Yeah, a bit more of a pop, a bit more just like life to it, I think. So yeah, I would say that, to be honest.
People, when I was speaking to other people about obviously your results and stuff like that, because obviously I'm fanboying over there rooting for you. Slightly biased, slightly biased. Being
That's right.
former coach, I'm slightly biased. But they were like genuinely like, oh yeah, he's self-coaching this year as well. Like that was the kind of like vibe that when people were saying it, like people were impressed. They were impressed with the look you bring. They were impressed you were self-coached as well. Because it's not quite rare to do that and get those results, if that makes sense.
For sure, yeah. It's a bit of a mind fuck. It's like, I think I think for me, it probably would have been beneficial to have somebody look over my physique, especially during my peak. And yeah, I think that would have probably helped me a lot if I'm being completely honest. I For me, I think I was just quite stubborn. But like it still went really well, and I'm still happy that I've done it. But I think for sure, just having that eye would be really good, because I kind of said to myself through that process, like I don't want anyone giving me their opinion. I don't want to send because people are like, I'm self-coached, and they send like 6 different people their photos every day, and they're like, what do you think? Like this, I didn't want to do any of that. I was just like, I'm going to take my photos. Bryony would like look at me and be like, oh, okay, you look good, or you look a little flat, or like, and then that'll be it. And I'll just make a decision. But I think having eyes on me during a peak when I'm actually like fat free would probably help, to be honest.
Could we see the evolution of the next Samson Dowder and the female coach there with Bryony? Yeah.
I don't know about that, man. Like, yeah, he's like 350 pounds right now, so I don't think I'll ever touch that body weight.
Dude is a machine. I mean, I've been 300 pounds before, but it was not good.
Not quite Samson.
No, sir. Yeah. No, definitely not. So, obviously, great first season. Obviously, this season with competitors, who have you got coming up?
Yeah, it's going to be a good season. So we've got 8 clients on stage this year. Quite a few in quite a few different countries as well. The first shows of the season will actually be in the back end of May and middle of May, actually. PCA Natural Show and the Heart of England show. I've got a couple of people doing that, which should be great.
Because the UK DFBA show's 31st, isn't it? And then
that's
the PCA
the one, yeah.
is the 7th.
Yeah. I think there's one in May. I'd have to double check. I do know I've got a guy who's like 14 or 13 weeks out at the minute for a PCA show. Because
I've got a guy who might be doing that as a warm-up show. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so he's kind of like, he wants to get the season because he's taking off of his business. He's like, I might not make it to BNBF in August if we do this for too long. I'm like, well, we better earn for some early shows then and kick your ass in the gear. Let's go. So like having that guy on his stage for the first time is going to be an interesting kind of development for me as a coach, because that's heading in a direction that obviously I want to head in. Because the way I look at it, I'm like, I'm probably like 3 years, maybe 4 years behind you from the career swap that I've had to go through. I think you've just managed to accelerate it through bloody hard work, experience, and you have gone through the hoops that I am currently going through, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're trying to make that transition to coaching more the competitors and the athlete side of things.
Yeah. So like I got my first photo shoot done last year, which is fantastic, with Mr. Matt Pearson. Dropped like 30 kg plus off, got in front of the camera, went through a mini peak and everything like that. So that was really interesting to actually take. I was sat there like a Cheshire cat, mate, smiling in the corner. Like honestly, man, I was like, so when this happens to the first client getting on stage, that'll be great. So yeah, so you're saying you got a couple guys doing those ones next up?
Yeah, so we got most of the shows that we will have clients in will be the WNBF show at the back end of the year, BNBF shows, the UK DFBA shows, the MBW International as well at the back end of the year. Most of my clients will be competing at the back end of the year.
The MBW show looks ridiculous.
Oh man, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. The production, yeah, it's a really good show. Very, very good show.
I feel like every year that I competed like before it was even thing. Obviously, 2024 it wasn't quite a thing yet. I think that was the first one they did, and I didn't quite make it to that one at the end of the season when we were working together. Then I missed 2025 when it come out. 2026, obviously, I'm getting married, and still more off season is required for the upper body to come back through. And I don't want to get to 2027 and be like, oh, we're not doing it this year. I'll be like, oh, because I would love to do that show.
Yeah, it's an incredible show. How's your off season going? How have you found managing the off season and training and the clients and?
It's been interesting, man. It's been interesting. So I was with Josh Carr for most of last year, just working on some I want to say like more intricate movement stuff. Like, so I found out that like my obliques are so shit, and they're really really weak. And so now I'm doing a lot more like 45-degree angle stuff. Where I'm just moving through different planes of motion, more sagittal and transverse, like actually working on that core. Because when I see you RDLing 200 kg plus, I go, I need to try and catch up with that. When I see it, but like you know how it is. When you start to see other people, it's not an ego lifting thing. It's like, I know if I could lift that much, I know what I'm going to look like.
For sure.
As well. So that's why I kind of look at it. So before anyone gets it twisted listening to this, it's not an ego number thing. It's a case of if I could work my way up there, I know that I'm going to look really fucking good. So I'm stuck at around like 160, 170 at the moment. And my core is simply not strong enough to handle more weight. I can't, because obviously I've had a hernia operation, which does kind of like play around with things. And it was umbilical. So I felt it the other week where it was a bit like, oh yeah, you're pissed off a little bit. So like I've worked on breathing mechanics, I've worked on obliques, I've worked on a lot more scapular control as well, trying to get more serratus anterior, trying to work more lower trap into it, doing like a lot more lateral raises in different variations and ways, like behind the body, in front of the body, Y raises, things of that nature. Because me and you both know, like, I don't have a leg problem, which is a really kind of great position to be in, but it's kind of a problem from a symmetry and balance standpoint in bodybuilding.
Yeah,
is that sure. Like, you know, I always joke with people saying if you took Elliot basically from the abs up and me from the abs down, we could combine to build like some kind of Power Ranger bodybuilder. That'd be unstoppable.
For sure.
Because like genetically, I'm very happy with what I've got. Like being a taller guy as well. Like we normally struggle to put on as much muscle mass. I think having a competitive background in football and doing a lot of sprints and training like a maniac, like Tom Platz in the gym from very early on, like I got into that kind of like Tom Platz, Arnold Schwarzenegger training very early on in the gym. I disgustingly hammered my legs with lunges and squats and leg extensions, all the rest of it. So I kind of got lucky in some kind of resilience, and then military background as well. But doing that work in the upper, it's been real boring work this year, I'll tell you that. It's not been huge PBs on bench presses or doing crazy stuff. It's been really fundamental, like foundational work that is keeping me injury free, stopping my neck from pinging off as well. And it's started to come to fruition. So I feel like I have made some good progress. I've started to build more top line, and I think it's now just a patience game. Like building more arm muscle is hella boring. There's not really much you could do about it except for just spam as much frequency and volume as you can do before you start picking up anything that pisses the body off from a carry angle perspective or from a tendonitis perspective, like because it's repetitive movement. It's going to do the same thing, right? It's going to go up down down for the bicep. It's just different positions you put it in. So it's been going all right, man. It's been going all right. I feel that after I get the wedding out of the way, and because I'm in a little bit of a mini cut at the moment for it, that will be in a better position. I feel like I have not eclipsed more than 113, 114, and I don't ever go anywhere near that again. To be honest with you, I don't think I will start prep again unless I'm close to 100.
For sure.
I could not agree with what you say. In a sense, your starting position matters a lot more than people probably give it credit for, and yeah, from that perspective, like I'm working. I'm like 107 at the moment. I think you're 107 exactly at the moment as well, aren't you?
Literally the same body weight, yeah.
Literally the same body weight, but completely different looks. Completely. Like, I am nowhere near as lean as you are right now. Like, nowhere near. But from a perspective of like what I've noticed since coming out of prep is that even if I got up to a slightly heavier body weight, I don't look anywhere near the same, and certain areas have never lost the amount of tonality to the muscle, if that makes sense.
For sure. Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Once it's gone, it's gone. It's just never coming back there. It's like shoulders, arms, legs. Like, there's certain areas it just doesn't. It just tends to go to like my midsection a bit too much, and as soon as it starts covering abs, I'm like, this needs pulling back now. It's gone too far. And that gets better. I think that gets better over time. And this, as we were talking earlier, like the standards get better and better and better as you go on, and you realise, if you want to be a bodybuilder, this is what is required. You have to keep it at this level, because I feel that if you go too far, you start feeling like, I feel that if I push my body fat further than 20 to 25%, I feel like a fucking fraud. Like, it's
for sure. For sure.
Doesn't feel like a nice look either. Like, I'm like, no. And then it knocks on to performance, sleep, health metrics. It's a slippery slope. There's like a real nice position for me that I want to kind of operate around that kind of 15 to 20% body fat, and want to take as long as possible to get back up there again. Now, I'm going on honeymoon to Texas in September.
Oh, sick. I'm jealous of that.
There's a couple of things we're going to be doing for that, which is going to be pretty sick. Like, I'm thinking, okay, is where's Metroflex at? Where destination? Okay, I'm looking at all these places on the hit list. There's Alpha Land and all the rest of it as well. So it's going to be a very, very cool thing to do, man. Very, very cool thing to do. But yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, what's the biggest thing for yourself at the moment for your off season that you're working on at the moment? Is it still legs, or is it just everything still?
I'm working on the lower body. I think I've got to a place where the balance has definitely improved quite a bit. I think for me, I also want to improve midsection control and strength around my midsection as well. For me, especially when it comes to my posing, I think you can really move the needle with your physique if you can get more control over your midsection and just have more command over that. Like, if you can literally make your waist look smaller, you look bigger as a person without you necessarily having to add a pound of muscle or 2 pounds of muscle. You can actually just do that by making your waist smaller, and that's been something that I've been working on across this off season. So just through vacuums in the morning, just consistently, so a few rounds of vacuums, mobility work, and just actually training my abs properly and actually trying to progress my ab training. But so yeah, that's really been the main thing, to be honest.
With the ab training, what sort of things are you incorporating into the routine at the moment then?
The main thing for me has been like side planks, bird dogs, like vacuum work, some crunches here and there, but mostly movements where, like, if I get into a position that trains my abs and I'm really weak, I just stick with that, basically. So like side plank clamshells and stuff like that. Like, if I'm like, when I first started doing them, I was like shaking like a shitting dog, and I was like, okay, I'm just like, I have no muscle here. Okay, like I need to actually get good at this, and I think getting those areas a bit stronger has definitely helped just me feel more safe and secure in my bracing and my squatting patterns, my deadlifts. So yeah, I think like the side plank one has been a huge one for me. Yeah, just getting strong in those positions, to be honest, or stronger, should I say.
I've got 2 points on that, and that's a really good point there, because I think that a lot of younger guys or people even like that are kind of in their gym career, they look at stuff like that and they just like dismiss it almost as not important, and like, they won't really do anything, but they don't realise the compounding effects that things like that happen. And that will help cure down the line, because the reason you're probably plateauing isn't because you're not very strong at, or wanting to be strong at a deadlift, for example. There's probably something breaking down somewhere that's holding you back, and if you fix that, the next 20-30 kilos might be able to jump up and build more mass on for your hamstrings, for example.
Yeah, 100%. I think if there's anything that you can do to basically prolong how long you can progress your training, why would you not do it? Especially if training is, like, a lot of people proclaim that training is like, oh my God, it makes me so happy, I love it so much, I'll do whatever I can to train. But it's like, okay, well, have you considered actually working on why you're failing movements, rather than just hammering away at the same thing expecting a different result? If you're experiencing pain, or if you're experiencing just a lack of progress, it just makes sense to me, to be honest.
Yeah, and I find off that, so like my 2 points are, one, I'll come back to this, right? Remind me, my flight to Turkey last year after I did some oblique crunches. It's nothing bad, like I didn't shit myself on the plane, right? But it was an interesting experience, so I'll put it this way. Like, and number two is these small 1% of things that we feel that don't really matter. Those are the ones that make the difference to the guys who are going to get pro-worthy physiques like yourself, like who are going to get pro cards, who are going to continue to keep getting better. That the vacuums and the midsection control and all the small stuff that you don't think they matter. They matter so much.
100%. Yeah, 100%, man. I think what you done with, so for example, with Josh Carr, I think stuff like that, a lot of people avoid doing. Like, I'll pay to see a physio every month. I've been seeing a physio once a month for about the past year and a half. And I think a lot of people are worried about investing money. But if you're a bodybuilder, look at it this way. It's like, I don't spend money anywhere else. I don't buy shit. Like, I don't go out drinking. I don't go to raves. I don't have a drug habit. I don't buy loads of clothes for myself. I literally just put money either into getting better at training or coaching. So don't be afraid to like invest your money into making your training and how you feel better, because you're probably not spending that money anywhere else. And you'll see returns on it. It's an investment.
100%. I've been seeing a chiro now for probably every three months ish. I'll see him for like a checkup and check in to reassess everything. And I've seen him for 3 years. Like, if I pick anything up, I just go see him straight away. I'm like, hey, this happened for this reason. What do we think it could be? What could be weaker? What could we need to work on? What are we going to avoid for a while? And yeah, I've been seeing him consistently now for a while, because we built that relationship up. He knows me, knows my body, knows how it feels as well, which is a really weird thing to say. He can, like, you can feel muscle tone when someone's stressed. Like, it's a really interesting science of stuff. But before I forget, Turkey, right?
Turkey.
So I just started with Josh Carr. I worked with Josh for about 6 months or so, a little bit down. Really smart cat, very, very cool guy. Got on with him really well. And we did a lot of really good work together in training in the gym. And the first lot of 45-degree oblique crunches he's given me. Do you know what that is?
So you're basically on like a 45-degree bench,
so
and you're like sideways, and you're like that, basically. That sounds very brutal.
Yeah, right. So your feet are obviously clamped into place. So your hips locked in. You're in between the two pads. So your hips can't move, and you can only move from the top. And then obviously you're keeping your hands up here, like so, right? So that leverage point comes in as well. And as you rotate through this, I was like, I can do this. It's not a big deal, you know, like they'll be strong enough. I did 2 sets, right? Didn't think of anything. I thought, oh, yeah, that's hard. It's a little bit shaky at the end, because default for us bodybuilders is proximity to failure. Otherwise, we're not working hard enough, right?
Sure.
I'll be like judging it off that. If I'm not like, if concentric speed is not slowed down to 3 or 5 seconds, we just don't stop.
Basically.
And I think 2 or 3 days later, I was on the plane to Turkey with Sophie, going on holiday. And I didn't realise how sore they actually were. And I was in that plane, and I was like, the most uncomfortable couple of hours of my life I've ever experienced, because I couldn't move from that position where they were engaged from the hip. And every time I would move, oh my god, the pain. The pain was so much. It was like brand new leg DOMs all over again. And yeah, that just made me realise how weak they actually were and how sore they were and how like they just had no stimulus from all the other movements. Because like we move through frontal planes so much as bodybuilders and we neglect any kind of like rotation twists. So now I do like neck nods. I saw AJ Morris doing quite a lot of where he's got like the whole headband thing, but I do a lot of like neck work now before I start to do my pressing movements where I do that. I do a lot of wrist work now as well. So like one day I'll do neck work, one day I'll do wrist work, and then sporadically 2 or 3 times a week I'll make sure that I go through those movements of the 45 in different ways, as well as the knee raises or the ab crunches, standard machines as well, because they're some of my weak points. And if I can't get them to be better, I can't keep, pulling and pressing are areas where I would have developed more lat and more chest. But if I can't transfer that weight through my hand and wrist and elbow, I've got no chance. And there's only so much optimized cuffing you can do, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because I mean, that's a separate story all by itself, isn't it? Like the whole optimized cuff. Mate, what's your view on some of that, mate? I'd love to hear it.
I think a lot of the time we're seeing the extremes. We're seeing like with the science-based lifting community, there's a lot of information that is incredible in that community, and as always you can take incredible things from that. I'm actually at the minute on Chris Beardsley's Patreon, and it's really useful. It's great, but I think a lot of the time we see a lot of the extremes on social media because it gets traction. So you like the foam roller on the forearm and the cuff and like holding a shin pad and like all that stuff. Like it's silly. It's an extreme. It's the same way as like the gym bros who like refuse to use any machines. They just use a barbell because they believe that machines are for pussies. Like that's also the other end of the extreme. And it's like they're both shit. Like they're both rubbish. Like it's probably best to be somewhere in the middle and take points from both parties and find a way that works for you. Rarely is an extreme going to be the best outcome or probably the one that you should do. I mean, if you enjoy that style of training, cool. But if you haven't got enough muscle yet or you're not big enough yet, maybe reconsider a few things.
Yeah, context is key there, and we're always seeing extremes. We'll see the clickbaity stuff. We'll see, like, not everyone needs to train like JP, right? Not everyone can or should train like JP, but there's a reason JP trains like JP.
For sure, yeah, 100%. JP's an interesting one, to be honest. I really like JP, and I've followed and enjoy that style of training, but I do also think people forget that like JP's been injured a lot. Like he hurts himself a lot. Like he gets a lot of injuries and niggles. There's certain movements that JP just can't do now, and it's like I think you have to understand the trade-off with different training styles, and that's not to say that obviously because it works. JP's put on 100 pounds of stage weight. But you just have to understand the trade-offs and make developments to your training that keep you training for as long as possible.
There's also the equation of enhanced versus natural as well in training styles throughout that, because like if anyone thinks that JP's natural, I start to question your sanity of reality.
I think you should get off this podcast and consider
maybe go to a doctor. Or check yourself in at A&E, right?
Yeah, 100%.
No. What are your kind of like biggest takeaways from obviously doing this naturally for as long as you have now? Because you said obviously you've been training for what, like over a decade?
Just 11 years this year, yeah. Not quite as long as you, I don't think. But
I look back at my training history and it's a bit crazy, right? So like first first off, I trained at a gym for a while when I was younger, but then I played football kind of like semi-professionally. I know you played basketball quite competitively as well when you were younger.
Yeah.
So you can't really go full tilt in the gym when you have a sport to play. Like, it kind of like the gym complements the sport. The sport is always priority number one. And I think people forget about that quite a lot, especially if you're coming to me as a PT and you're like, I want to put on a load of muscle, and you're like, but I play football 3 times a week. And I'm like, cool, but this is going to take a little bit longer. But you're still going to be able to play football if you want to. If you don't want to play football, then that's a separate issue altogether, right? It's kind of like what you want to do, apples and eggs and oranges, and trying to juggle them up. As coaching someone like you have, like a lot of Gen Pop people tend to say they want one goal throughout that, but their attention is diverted into like 7 different things.
For sure,
if you could condense this to 3 or 4, then we could probably make results work a lot easier and better. So, and then obviously I had the military career as well, so that was such a different style of training as well. I just think, honestly, I don't think I've been properly training as a bodybuilder for very long.
Oh, okay.
I just don't. Although I've got a lot of experience in training in the gym and weightlifting, like very, very specific to hypertrophy and bodybuilding, like I give myself like 5 years maybe of training like that. Yeah, I don't know if that's dismissive on previous years that I have been training, but I look back on it and I'm like, I worked very hard, but there was some stupid ego lifts going on for a start. That standardization of reps for me, just like sending my training footage in and having someone like yourself look over it who has been and had training from other people and said, like, this needs to probably move like this and that needs to move like that. And I know me and you will probably preach that to our steam comes out of our ears to our clients of send training footage. It matters a lot, and we can help a lot through that, through delivery of execution. But yeah, like looking back on all the training that I did previously, I'm like, it gave me some foundation, otherwise I wouldn't have the muscle I had when I stepped on stage in 2024. But doing what I have been doing since even when I started with you, so that was what, like 2021, 2022, I think, 2022?
2022, yeah.
Yeah, like I would only really start counting it around that time, mate. So like 4 years, maybe 5 years, a little bit, when I get back into it in 2021.
Yeah, wild. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that is fair. I think with myself, I wasn't really weight training at any point until I got to university. And then as soon as I started weight training with basketball, I was like, oh, okay, I just enjoy this. This is just way more enjoyable. There wasn't like when I played football, I wasn't weight training, or when I was running, I wasn't weight. It didn't even cross my mind until I was 18, 19 years old. So yeah. Which is quite late these days. A lot of people are lifting from 12 years old, 11 years old now, and being jacked to 17. Yeah.
Mate, I was going to talk on this actually, like the standard of natural bodybuilding, but the standard of these natty juniors coming through is a crazy thing to see. Obviously, having coached a couple of them last year as well, right?
Yeah, juniors, and even to be honest, even the teens. There's, my God, some of the teens. I mean, Talib's client Will, who multiple British champion. International champion, 17 for most of the season, and he looked absolutely insane. There's a couple of teams that will be competing this year, and they just look mind-boggling, Like to have that level of mass at that age, and it's because they've just been exposed to a lot of the right information from so early on. So many people are just getting into the sport now from early, and their exposure, they're not relying on some random guy on a forum to tell them what to do, or matey boy in the gym oh yeah mate, here's some gear, just start doing this. It's like they've got a plethora of information to do the right thing immediately. So yeah, it's pretty sick.
And then obviously, although we can slate the mainstream gyms as much as we want, they're going to have access now to equipment that was previously just not available to maybe someone like you or me. Those 24/7 gyms didn't exist when we were growing up. You'd be lucky if you knew someone that did open up a little bit earlier, or maybe like, you know, did just like let you have a key or a code to something like back in the day, you know, or you knew someone
100%.
kind of, you know, you had to know someone to get into places like that, right? Whereas now, like, yeah, I mean, the gym, you know, I don't train out of like the Pure Gym Males, which is my local to me as much anymore, but like it seems to be as much of a social thing to go there now as it does like to actually go train, because there's like groups of like 3 or 4 of them, 5 of them around cable machines, and as much as they're pissing off the regulars, and yes, it's a meme and everyone gets to have a joke at it, but I look at this sometimes like, well, they're in here training, like doing bits here, that's better than what they would be potentially doing out on the streets or being somewhere else, right? Because that's the social support centre nowadays, that's the community centre. We don't have the community sports centres anymore, they're gone.
100%, man.
The natural bodybuilding scene is only getting better every year on year, right?
Yeah, it's the standard's really high, and also now the opportunities in natural bodybuilding. I think, if I'm being honest, I think a lot of people probably went enhanced because they were like, oh, there's just no opportunities in natural bodybuilding. Like, well done, like you kind of just got a pro card, but there's no money, like there's nothing. Whereas now we're starting to see prize funds for winners and top 3s of pro shows. We're even seeing money being provided in amateur shows as well now. And it's like you can actually now be rewarded for actually just being a good natural bodybuilder, which is, yeah, I mean, incredible. So, and that's only going to get better as the sport gets bigger.
I 100% agree that. I think it's been really good to see. Obviously, I'm liking what the UK DFBA are doing. Obviously, they've gone back to their national qualifiers. They've been quite open about how they're going to be doing things from a judging standpoint and the prize money involved and the classes that are coming into it. So, and I know that a lot of other federations, I'm not sure, like, well, obviously what the WNBF are doing. They're a very big federation, probably the biggest natural worldwide bodybuilding federation out there. And I know that all the guys are always learning. Like, I think a lot of the time when we can be in the trenches, so to speak, inside the shows, I think we can forget that everyone doing that show wants to put on the best possible show for everyone.
For sure.
The athletes first, obviously, because they're like people paying the money, doing the show, turning up, putting in the work in, representing the federation and everything like that. But they want to put on the best. So if anything ever goes wrong, if it doesn't go according to plan, you know, they're not sat there rubbing their hands thinking excellent. Like, no, they want it to be better as well. But yeah, the ample opportunity now is, because I didn't know this when I was in 2016 when I competed NABA. I didn't know there was any other way to do that. Like, I didn't know there was enhanced or not enhanced. Like, I was like, what's the nearest bodybuilding show? I'll go do that. Then when I rocked up, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to place. Like, straight away, man. Yeah. I lost 20 kilos at nothing but white fish with chili flakes and runner beans for like weeks on end. So I was like, no idea what I was doing. You know, I was taking that advice from people out of supplement shops. Like you just said, like, hey, just do this, mate. Yeah. For your peaking, what you need to do is just have a load of cheesecake and steak. Like, oh, God. Looking back at those mistakes is hilarious, man. But cool, man. So what does the future entail for you?
Just keep helping to build Team Bow, to be honest, and just get more people on stage. I just want to help keep getting more and more people on stage. I want to double the amount of people I have on stage next year, and then double that again the year after. That's a goal of mine, which I think I can more than absolutely do. I think in bodybuilding, the biggest thing is its results. Because I think when you're coaching Gen Pop, I think the way that you look and a lot of your just content and how you speak can carry you quite a bit and help get people in the door. Whereas I think when you're trying to coach natural bodybuilders and bodybuilders in general, okay, that's great. He's really good with editing videos and he's got a great hook and he looks sick, but what's he done? Like, has he got a result with someone? Because I'm trying to get in shape. I want to win a pro card. What's he actually done? Has he got somebody that? And I think this year I've kind of got the opportunity to actually be like, oh, well, this is what this is what I've done. And I think each year you can just build on that portfolio, which is, I think, the most important thing, to be honest.
Very good point there, especially results, man. So obviously for yourself, off season, when's the next time you're going to be competing again, do you think?
Probably 27. I was debating going again this year, but I just want to solely focus on clients and not have to diet down again. And I'd just rather leave it till 27, to be honest.
Because not many natural bodybuilders do back-to-back seasons, do they, right?
No, it's because you need that time really to recover hormonally, get back to a place where you're training, and then, I mean, before you know it, you're in a prep. Honestly speaking, I don't think I'm that far off where I need to be muscularity-wise to be a decent pro. If I'm being honest, I think that's why I was considering back-to-back. But you can always improve. Like, you can always just get better. And I kind of want to look substantially different to 2025 the next time I compete. So, yeah.
Awesome, man. So where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, elliotgibson.coach on Instagram, YouTube, Elliot Gibson, bodybuilding, just type that in. I'm sure somewhere down the list I'll appear. And yeah, that's pretty much the main two places that you'll find me, man. Are you going in 2027 then? That's your...
I will be indeed, mate. That is the plan.
Sick.
So I was just thinking this through. Like, could we see each other on stage?
I'll only be doing the WNBF Pro show, man.
Oh, so that's the only one you're going to be doing then?
I'll literally be doing, I'll probably do like WNBF UK and WNBF Worlds or some other WNBF show like in Spain or something. So I'll do like 2 or 3 shows and that'll be me done, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, because obviously, like, I don't know, like, from a perspective of when you win that pro code for WNBF, is it the same as like the IFBB where they're like, you can't do any other pro shows from anyone else or anything like that?
I think so, yeah. I think you, because if you have that pro card, I don't think you could compete in amateur ranks somewhere else. That doesn't really make any sense. And the goals that I have involve WNBF pro shows. So, yeah, man.
Probably one of, if not the biggest stage there is for a natural professional competitor, right? WNBF. There's not many others. I mean, because we got DFAC as well. But off the top of my head, like, those two are probably like some of the biggest. I was trying to think, like, because I don't think that, because I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there's an American natural one that isn't the WNBF. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
There is like they're doing, I guess, natural IFBB Pro cards, but I guess it's just an IFBB Pro card. But they've got the Ben Weeder natural show now, which is pretty big in America. I think if you end up winning the overall there, you end up qualifying for the Olympia. How much of a shot you'd have in being competitive, you probably wouldn't. But yeah, it's still mental nonetheless.
Yeah. That's a kind of like a very good question by itself. Like, we could probably talk about an hour just about that, right? About whether it's worth doing as a natural competitor, even going to the Olympia. I want to say it's like NPC might do like a naturals in America.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of, like, if there's another, like, any like bigger world war organisation. But no, awesome, man. I appreciate your time coming on here today, and obviously the people know where to find you, man.
You too, man. I appreciate you inviting me on, man. It's been fun. It's been sweet.
Awesome. All right, guys. Until the next one.